Oh, I guess one country Battlefield 5 can still sell well. Japan. Why Japan? Why would he buy this game? I thought this game would flop absolutely like Black Panther did in Japan. But this actually managed to sell 101,000 copies. Over 100,000 copies. That is surprising, actually, because Battlefield 5 is flopping everywhere else but Japan. So I guess it's one country that will still buy bad games no matter what. But it is the same country who will buy Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee in masses. With that game selling 820,000 copies. And they also bought some other really bad games as well that I forgot during the past. Like all those other really bad anime games that nobody cares about in America. But it's just sad that the Japanese market still wants to buy this over other games that came out that are better, like God of War. That Battlefield 5 really just outsold God of War in its first week. Which is just sad that the Japanese market is so different than ours. That to be willing to buy this over God of War, the new one, not the old one. Or they'll be willing to buy this over the Witcher 3. What is it? The Japanese market is just strange at how some games that sell really greatly, and then there's some games that sell pretty poorly. Even the Witcher 3 sold like 110,000 copies in Japan. Only 110,000 copies. But Battlefield 5 sells that in a week. A week. A freaking week. Like literally a freaking week it took to outsell the Witcher 3. Actually, I don't know the actual sales for Witcher 3, but 67,000 copies for the Witcher 3 first week. Battlefield 5 sold 110,000 copies. Was even compared to some even other games that were critically acclaimed, like Xenoblade Chronicles X. Yes, that game was literally outsold by Battlefield 5 in a week. It is the reason why the Japanese console market is dying, because people are buying games like Battlefield 5. What's also compared to some other popular games? Okay, so let's look at our friendly site, VZ Tots, which takes the website, the Japanese sales really from the Japanese website, from the Famitsu and those things. So according to the Famitsu, Battlefield 5 sold 100,000 copies. No, 110,000 copies. But there's a lot of people buying one game. Of course, this means it will be outselling many games on, according to VZ Tots. According to VZ Tots, Battlefield 5 for the PS4 outsold Grand Theft Auto in its first 3 weeks. Nearly outsold Grand Theft Auto 5 in its first 3 weeks. Well, it's also going to beat Battlefield 4 within 2 weeks, because Battlefield 4 sold 124,000 copies on the PS4. Let's go to 2015, when the PS4 started getting more popular. We had games like The Witcher 3 come out and Fallout 4. The Witcher 3 only sold 169,000 copies in its first year. Battlefield 5 will likely outsell that within a few weeks, because people actually decided to buy the game, which is surprising. And it even outsold games like Far Cry 4 or Batman Arkham Knight in Japan. Games that are infinitely better, or even Dragon Ball Xenoverse or Xenoblade Chronicles for the 3DS in its first week. This is absolute proof that the console market is declining, and even as outselling Battlefield Hardline, which is one of the worst-selling Battlefield games in history. Now let's go to 2016. 2016 was a promising year for games, but really there's a lot of disappointments in 2016. It outsold Street Fighter V, Watch Dogs 2, Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess HD. It also outsold The Last Guardian in its first year. Even though it's only a few days of sales. Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2 was outsold by Battlefield 1 in its first week. The first year of Xenoverse 2 still was beaten by Battlefield 5. Japan seems to be the only market that seems to be buying this game. No one else wants this game. Even Fallout 76, which had a 60,000 opening, 60k opening, still declined to a measly 11k. While Battlefield 5, it might actually sell pretty well like Spider-Man did. It's still below Black Ops 4 sales, which is around 500,000 copies in Japan, which I have no idea why that game's selling so well in Japan in the first place. And Spider-Man sold around 300,000 copies because Marvel is now more popular in Japan, thanks to Infinity War. But PS4, literally like every game, most of the games on the PS4, most wrestling games can dream of 100,000 copies first week. 100,000 copies? Battlefield 5 still managed to sell. There's many more games that are more deserving of 100,000 copies than Battlefield 5. I mentioned them already in the video, and I don't have to mention them again. I guess it's one country where it's consumer proof. Japan.